Good morning, everyone. Embrace silence before the world speaks to you, before you reach for your phone, before you engage with the noise of the world. Take a moment of silence. Whether it's through meditation, deep breathing, or simply sitting in stillness, give your mind space to wake up on its own terms. This habit trains you to control your thoughts rather than letting external distractions dictate them. 2. Move with purpose. The body and mind are not separate. They are partners in your daily battles. Start your morning with movement, whether it's stretching, walking, or exercising. Strengthening your body strengthens your willpower. A disciplined body leads to a disciplined mind, and discipline is what separates those who control their lives from those who are controlled by life. 3. Reflect and set intentions before you get lost in the tasks of the day. Take a few moments to reflect. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish today? Who do I want to be? Writing in a journal or simply thinking about your purpose will anchor you. Without direction, we drift. With clarity, we move with intention. 4. Do something difficult first. Comfort weakens us. If you want to build resilience, you must train yourself to face difficulty head-on. Tackle the hardest task of the day early, whether it's an uncomfortable conversation, a challenging workout, or deep work. By embracing discomfort in the morning, you build the strength to handle anything life throws your way. These 4 habits, silence, movement, reflection, and challenge, are not just morning routines. They are a way of life. They are a commitment to discipline, wisdom, and strength. Do them consistently, and you will find yourself unshaken by the chaos of the world, standing firm in your purpose. Embracing silence before external distractions take over is one of the most powerful habits you can cultivate in your life. In a world that constantly demands our attention, where notifications, emails, and messages flood our minds from the moment we wake up, the ability to claim a few moments of silence can be transformative. It is not just about avoiding noise, it is about creating space for clarity, reflection, and control over our own thoughts before the world dictates what we should think, feel, or do. The moment you wake up, your mind is in its most receptive state. It has not yet been influenced by the pressures of the day, the expectations of others, or the flood of information that will inevitably come. This is the moment when you have the greatest ability to set the tone for your day. However, what most people do is immediately reach for their phone, check messages, scroll through social media, or consume the news. In doing so, they allow external voices to invade their mental space before they have even had a chance to hear their own thoughts. The first few minutes of the day determine whether you will live with intention or simply react to whatever the world throws at you. If you allow distractions to take over immediately, you surrender control before the day has even begun. Silence in the morning is not just about the absence of noise, it is about presence. It is about giving yourself time to wake up fully, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. It is about allowing your mind to settle before it is bombarded with tasks, responsibilities, and external stimuli. When you start your day with silence, you create an environment where your mind can function at its highest level. You are not just reacting, you are thinking. You are not just consuming, you are creating. One of the greatest benefits of embracing silence is the ability to observe your thoughts. Most of us live on autopilot, jumping from one task to the next, never stopping to question why we do what we do. In silence, you can become aware of your mental patterns. You may notice anxieties that creep in, the emotions that surface, or the thoughts that repeat themselves. This awareness is powerful because it allows you to take control. Instead of being controlled by your thoughts, you become the observer, capable of choosing which thoughts to entertain and which to let go. Silence also fosters gratitude and perspective. When you wake up and allow yourself a few moments of stillness, you can take a deep breath and appreciate the simple fact that you are alive. You can acknowledge the opportunities in front of you, rather than immediately feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities. It is in these quiet moments that you can recognize what truly matters, free from the distractions that often distort your priorities. Many people fear silence because they associate it with emptiness. But true silence is not empty. It is full of potential. It is the space where ideas are born, where clarity emerges, and where inner strength is cultivated. Great thinkers, leaders, and philosophers have all valued the power of silence. They understood that wisdom does not come from constant noise and activity, but from moments of deep reflection and stillness. When you embrace silence before external distractions take over, you create a foundation for wisdom and intentional action. In practical terms, embracing silence can take many forms. It can be as simple as sitting in stillness for a few minutes before you reach for your phone. It can be taking a few deep breaths, closing your eyes and allowing your mind to settle. Some people find meditation helpful, while others may prefer quiet journaling, reading, or just staring out of a window and letting their thoughts unfold naturally. The method does not matter as much as the principle. Claim a space for your own mind before allowing the world to intrude. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain calm and composed throughout the day. When you start your morning with silence, you are training yourself to be less reactive, to be more deliberate in your choices, and to maintain a sense of control over your emotions. The benefits extend far beyond the morning itself. They shape how you respond to challenges, how you interact with others, and how you handle stress. In a world that constantly seeks your attention, silence is an act of resistance. It is a declaration that your mind belongs to you, not to the endless distractions vying for your focus. By embracing silence before external distractions take over, you reclaim your own thoughts, your own direction, and ultimately, your own life. Engaging in physical movement every morning is not just about fitness. It is about strengthening discipline, sharpening the mind, and setting the tone for the day ahead. Movement is a powerful tool that shapes not only the body but also the mind. It forces us to push past comfort, to embrace effort, and to develop the ability to act even when we do not feel like it. This ability, doing what needs to be done regardless of our emotions, is the very essence of discipline, and it is the foundation of success in any area of life. The moment the body is in motion, the mind follows. Too often, people wake up feeling sluggish, unmotivated, and unwilling to take on the day's challenges. They assume they need to feel ready before they act, but this is a mistake. Action comes first, motivation follows. When you commit to moving your body first thing in the morning, whether it is stretching, walking, or intense exercise, you are training yourself to take control rather than wait for the right mood. You are proving to yourself that you are in charge of your actions, not your fleeting emotions. This small but powerful decision rewires the brain to prioritize discipline over comfort. Physical movement in the morning also strengthens the ability to endure discomfort. Whether it is the burn of muscles working or the resistance of fatigue, movement requires effort. Overcoming that initial resistance teaches resilience. It builds the mental toughness necessary to push through difficulties in all aspects of life. When you consistently engage in physical movement, you develop the habit of embracing struggle rather than avoiding it. You stop seeking the easiest path and start seeing the value in hard work. Beyond discipline, movement cultivates a sharp and focused mind. The body and mind are deeply connected, and the way we treat one affects the other. A sluggish body often leads to a sluggish mind, unable to concentrate or make clear decisions. On the other hand, movement energizes the system, increases blood flow, and primes the brain for deep thinking and productivity. Many of history's greatest minds, from leaders to philosophers, understood this connection. They walked, exercised, and engaged in physical activity, not just to stay healthy but to think better, to create better, and to live better. There is also a deeper symbolic lesson in morning movement. When you willingly put yourself through physical exertion, you are practicing control over your own nature. You are refusing to let laziness dictate your actions. You are proving that you are capable of effort, even when effort is hard. This practice extends beyond exercise. It becomes a mindset that influences how you approach work, relationships, and personal growth. You start seeing challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities to strengthen yourself. You develop the discipline to do what must be done, even when it is inconvenient or difficult. Committing to physical movement every morning is a small decision with profound effects. It is not about how much you do or how intense your routine is. It is about the principle, showing up for yourself, training discipline, and setting a standard for how you will face the rest of the day. A person who can push through discomfort in the morning is a person who can push through challenges in life. When you engage in physical movement, you are not just training the body, You are training the mind to be stronger, more disciplined, and more resilient in everything you do. Reflecting and setting clear intentions in the morning is one of the most powerful habits a person can develop. The way a day unfolds is not determined by chance but by the mindset and focus we bring to it. Too often, people wake up and immediately dive into their routines without pausing to think about what they want to accomplish or how they want to navigate the day. They allow circumstances, distractions, and other people's demands to dictate their actions, rather than taking control and deciding their own course. When you take the time to reflect and set clear intentions, you reclaim your direction and ensure that your actions align with your values and goals. Reflection is the foundation of awareness. In the stillness of the morning, before the noise of the world takes over, you have an opportunity to check in with yourself. This is the time to ask important questions. What am I working toward? What kind of person do I want to be today? What challenges might arise and how will I respond to them? This simple practice helps prevent you from operating on autopilot. Instead of moving through the day reacting to whatever happens, you move with purpose, already prepared for what lies ahead. Setting intentions is more than just making a to-do list. It is about defining the mindset and approach you will bring to the day. You may have many tasks to complete, but the way you approach them matters just as much as getting them done. Will you work with patience and focus, or will you rush through with stress and frustration? Will you treat people with kindness and respect, or will you allow irritation and distractions to dictate your interactions? These are decisions that can be made in advance through conscious intention setting. When you decide in the morning how you want to act, you create a mental framework that guides your behavior throughout the day. Clarity in the morning prevents wasted effort. Without a clear direction, it is easy to become lost in distractions, spending time on things that do not truly matter. Many people find themselves busy all day but accomplish little of real significance. This happens because they have not taken the time to define what is important. When you set clear intentions, you filter out the unnecessary and focus on what truly contributes to your goals and personal growth. You begin the day knowing exactly what deserves your energy and attention, which allows you to act with efficiency and purpose. Another benefit of morning reflection is the ability to anticipate and mentally prepare for challenges. Difficulties are inevitable, but how you respond to them is within your control. If you go into the day without thought, obstacles may catch you off guard, triggering frustration or impulsive reactions. However, when you take a moment in the morning to acknowledge that challenges will arise and decide in advance how you will handle them, you strengthen your resilience. You shift from being reactive to being proactive, from being controlled by circumstances to maintaining control over yourself. Intention setting also fosters gratitude and perspective. It is easy to get caught up in the rush of daily responsibilities and overlook the simple yet meaningful aspects of life. When you reflect in the morning, you create space to recognize the opportunities you have, rather than focusing on what is lacking or stressful. Gratitude shifts your mindset, helping you approach the day with a sense of appreciation rather than a feeling of burden. This change in perspective enhances both productivity and well-being, as you carry a sense of purpose rather than a sense of obligation. Discipline plays a key role in making reflection and intention setting a daily habit. It is easy to dismiss this practice as unnecessary or to claim that there is not enough time for it. However, just as physical exercise strengthens the body, mental reflection strengthens the mind. The more consistently you engage in this practice, the more naturally it becomes a part of your routine. Over time, you will notice a shift not only in how you approach your mornings, but in how you approach life as a whole. Each day will feel more intentional, more structured, and more aligned with your greater goals and values. By taking the time to reflect and set clear intentions, you are making a deliberate choice to guide your day, rather than letting the day guide you. You are ensuring that your actions stem from conscious decisions, rather than unconscious habits. You are choosing to focus on what truly matters, to anticipate challenges with resilience, and to approach life with clarity and purpose. This habit may take only a few minutes each morning, but its impact extends far beyond that. It shapes the way you think, the way you act, and ultimately, the way you live. Doing the hardest task first is a principle that builds resilience, discipline, and mental toughness. In every day there are tasks that we dread, tasks that require deep focus, effort, or emotional strength. These are the tasks that, if left undone, create stress and anxiety as they linger in the back of our minds. Many people avoid these challenges by procrastinating, choosing instead to focus on easier, less demanding work. However, this avoidance weakens discipline and builds a habit of retreating from discomfort. When you start your day by confronting the most difficult task first, you train yourself to embrace challenge rather than run from it. The mind naturally resists difficult tasks. It seeks comfort, preferring to engage in activities that require minimal effort. This is why people often begin their day with small, easy tasks, checking emails, organizing their workspace, or handling minor responsibilities. While these tasks may feel productive, they often serve as a way to delay the work that truly matters. The problem with this approach is that as the day progresses, energy and focus diminish. By the time the hardest task is finally addressed, mental and physical fatigue make it even more difficult to complete. This leads to a cycle where important work is delayed, rushed, or even left unfinished. Tackling the hardest task first shifts this pattern entirely. In the morning, the mind is at its sharpest, mental energy is at its highest, and willpower is strongest. By dedicating this peak performance period to the most demanding task, you give yourself the best chance of completing it efficiently and effectively. Once the hardest task is done, the rest of the day feels lighter. The sense of accomplishment creates momentum, making it easier to stay productive and engaged. Instead of carrying the weight of an undone task throughout the day, you move forward with confidence, knowing that the most challenging part is already behind you. This practice also strengthens resilience by forcing you to confront discomfort directly. Avoiding difficult tasks builds a habit of avoidance, while taking them on first builds a habit of action. Over time, this shifts your mindset toward one of strength and capability. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. Each time you push through resistance and complete something difficult, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of handling adversity. This belief extends beyond work and into other aspects of life, helping you develop a mindset that embraces difficulty rather than shying away from it. Another advantage of starting with the hardest task is the reduction of stress and mental clutter. Procrastination does not make a difficult task disappear, it only extends the period of anxiety associated with it. The longer a task is delayed, the more it grows in the mind, often becoming more intimidating than it actually is. By addressing it first, you eliminate this mental burden early, freeing up space for clearer thinking and better decision-making throughout the day. The mind functions best when it is not weighed down by unfinished business, and starting with the hardest task ensures that the most demanding work is dealt with when you are most capable. Beyond productivity, doing the hardest task first cultivates a sense of personal mastery. Many people go through life avoiding challenges, seeking comfort, and settling for mediocrity. Those who willingly confront difficulty, on the other hand, develop an inner strength that separates them from the rest. They become people who do not wait for the right mood or the perfect circumstances, but take control of their actions regardless of how they feel. This level of discipline and resilience is what leads to long-term success in any endeavor. At first, this practice may feel uncomfortable, but like any habit, it becomes easier with time. Each day that you choose to start with the hardest task, you reinforce the mindset of discipline and mental toughness. Over time, you stop seeing difficult tasks as something to avoid and start viewing them as opportunities to build strength. The more you practice this, the more you develop the ability to act despite discomfort, a skill that will serve you in all areas of life. By consistently choosing to take on challenges rather than retreat from them, you shape yourself into someone who is prepared for anything life throws your way. Mornings shape the foundation of the day, and how they are spent determines the direction of everything that follows. Each morning offers a fresh start, a blank slate where decisions made in the first few hours influence energy, focus, and productivity. Many people allow their mornings to be dictated by external forces, rushing out of bed, checking their phones, responding to messages, or diving into obligations without thought. In doing so, they surrender control before the day has even begun. However, those who take charge of their mornings set themselves up for success, creating a foundation of discipline, clarity, and intentionality that carries them through the rest of the day. Control over the morning means control over the mind. The first moments after waking up are some of the most critical because the mind is in its most receptive state. If the first action of the day is to consume distractions scrolling through news, emails, or social media, the mind becomes reactive rather than proactive. Instead of focusing on personal priorities, attention is immediately hijacked by the outside world. This sets a pattern for the entire day, where one's focus is constantly pulled in different directions, making it difficult to engage in deep, meaningful work. However, when mornings are approached with intentionality, the mind remains clear and focused, allowing for greater discipline and better decision-making throughout the day. Mornings are also a time to build resilience. How one starts the day determines the level of mental and physical strength they bring into their daily challenges. Engaging in structured habits like exercise, meditation, journaling, or focused work in the morning trains the mind and body to embrace discipline. By deliberately choosing difficult or meaningful tasks early in the day, a person builds the habit of facing challenges head-on rather than avoiding them. This practice not only increases productivity, but also strengthens the ability to handle adversity, making it easier to navigate obstacles and setbacks as the day progresses. Another benefit of controlling the morning is the ability to set clear priorities. Without direction, it is easy to become caught up in minor tasks that do not contribute to long-term success or personal growth. Many people spend their days being busy, but not necessarily productive, reacting to whatever demands their attention rather than focusing on what truly matters. By taking the time in the morning to reflect, plan, and set clear intentions, it becomes easier to stay on track and ensure that actions align with greater goals. This habit creates a sense of purpose, reducing the chances of feeling lost or overwhelmed as the day unfolds. Physical and mental energy levels are also determined by how the morning is structured. A rushed, chaotic morning filled with stress sets a tone of anxiety that lingers throughout the day. On the other hand, a calm and structured morning fosters a sense of control and confidence. Simple habits like getting sunlight, drinking water, moving the body, and engaging in deep breathing exercises can significantly impact energy levels, ensuring sustained focus and efficiency. When the morning is designed to support both physical and mental well-being, the rest of the day benefits as a result. Discipline in the morning extends beyond just those early hours. It reinforces the mindset needed for long-term success. Those who consistently take control of their mornings develop self-mastery, proving to themselves that they are capable of directing their own lives rather than being at the mercy of circumstances. The small choices made each morning, whether to wake up with purpose or to surrender to distraction, accumulate over time and shape a person's character. The discipline built in the morning carries over into every decision made throughout the day, strengthening the ability to stay committed to goals, manage emotions, and navigate challenges with composure. Ultimately, the morning is a reflection of one's approach to life. Those who take responsibility for their mornings take responsibility for their actions, priorities, and success. Every morning is an opportunity to reinforce discipline, set clear intentions, and approach the day with strength and focus. By controlling the morning wisely, one not only maximizes productivity and effectiveness, but also builds the mindset necessary to face life with confidence and resilience. Consistency in these habits leads to an unshakable mind and character. The way a person repeatedly acts, thinks, and responds to challenges determines the strength of their mental and emotional foundation. It is not a single day of discipline, reflection, or effort that builds resilience, but rather the accumulation of these actions over time. Consistency transforms small, deliberate choices into ingrained habits that shape identity, fortify discipline, and create an individual who remains steady and unshaken, no matter what life presents. Discipline is not something that can be turned on and off at will. It is a muscle that must be trained daily. Many people seek motivation to push through their struggles, but motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates based on mood, external circumstances, and temporary feelings. Those who rely on motivation alone will inevitably falter when difficulties arise. However, consistency in habits removes the need for motivation because actions become automatic. When a person commits to structured habits every morning, whether it is engaging in physical movement, setting clear intentions, embracing silence, or tackling the hardest task first, they eliminate the question of whether they feel like doing it. They simply do it because it is a part of who they are. This kind of consistency also sharpens mental resilience. Challenges in life are inevitable, and how one reacts to them depends on the foundation they have built through their daily habits. Someone who consistently chooses discipline over comfort, reflection over distraction, and action over procrastination develops a mind that does not crumble under pressure. They have trained themselves to respond with clarity and control rather than panic or impulsivity. Over time, this resilience becomes a defining trait, one that allows them to navigate setbacks, criticism, and uncertainty without losing their sense of direction. Beyond resilience, consistency builds self-respect. Each time a person follows through on their commitments, they reinforce their trust in themselves. Conversely, every time they break a promise to themselves, whether skipping a workout, abandoning a goal, or indulging in distractions, they weaken their self-discipline and erode their own confidence. A person who cannot trust themselves to do what they say they will do will struggle to find confidence in any aspect of life. However, when they consistently prove to themselves that they are capable of showing up, taking action, and persevering, they develop an unshakable sense of self-worth. Character is not defined by isolated actions but by the patterns of behavior repeated over time. A person who consistently practices patience, discipline, and focus becomes someone others can rely on. They do not need to force themselves to be strong in difficult moments, because their habits have already shaped them into someone who naturally embodies strength. Those who lack consistency, however, find themselves struggling to maintain composure when faced with adversity. They may try to act with discipline or resilience temporarily, but without a solid foundation, their efforts are unstable and unsustainable. Consistency also eliminates the need for constant decision-making. When habits are deeply ingrained, there is no debate about whether to follow through. Just as a disciplined person does not question whether they will brush their teeth or eat breakfast in the morning, they also do not question whether they will engage in reflection, exercise, or deep work. These actions become second nature. This reduces mental fatigue and allows energy to be directed toward higher priorities. Rather than wasting time negotiating with themselves about whether they will take action, they simply act. At its core, consistency is a long-term commitment to excellence. Those who practice it understand that growth is not about dramatic, overnight changes, but about steady, deliberate effort over time. The strongest minds and characters are not built through bursts of intensity but through sustained daily practice. The person who shows up every day, who does what needs to be done regardless of how they feel, and who embraces discomfort repeatedly becomes someone who is unshakable. They are not easily swayed by difficulty, failure, or external pressure because they have conditioned themselves to persist, adapt, and overcome. By maintaining consistency in these habits, a person constructs a foundation of discipline, resilience, and self-mastery that cannot be easily broken. Their actions no longer depend on external circumstances or fleeting motivation, but on a deep-rooted sense of purpose and one's identity. Over time, they develop the kind of mind and character that stands firm in the face of adversity, remains composed under stress, and continues moving forward regardless of obstacles. This is the ultimate reward of consistency, not just success in external pursuits, but mastery over oneself. The strength of a person's mind and character is not built in a single moment, nor is it shaped by occasional bursts of effort. It is crafted through the quiet, consistent practice of discipline, reflection, and action, especially in the earliest hours of the day. Every morning is an opportunity to reinforce resilience, to take control rather than be controlled, and to move with purpose rather than be swayed by distraction. The habits we commit to each day determine the course of our lives. Those who embrace silence before the world's noise, who engage in physical movement to build discipline, who set clear intentions to guide their actions, and who tackle the hardest challenges first are the ones who rise above mediocrity. They cultivate a mind that remains steady in the face of adversity, and a character that does not waver under pressure. A strong mind and an unshakable character are not gifts, they are earned. They are the result of deliberate choices made over and over again until they become an inseparable part of who we are. If you wish to take control of your life, begin by taking control of your mornings. Master the first hours of your day, and you will master yourself. Master yourself, and you will master your destiny.